How much more running can I do? I think I lost her. Whew. Man, that was a distance. Oh, come on! So, in my last video, I talked about where MLP began and my thoughts on it. Today I'll go over how I began to get more interested and invested, and to answer that very simply, it was all fanfiction's fault. Yeah, laugh all you want, but that's how I got started. Way back in the day, well, more like 5 years ago, back in 2013, my little brother and I were talking about changelings and their possibilities. We got so far into it, he started writing a character he called Jack the Changeling. No, not that one. That one was drawn by Gardenia Roses? Anyways, for a time that character was pretty popular, or at least from what my little brother told me. I'm not sure how it actually went because I was too focused on the dare that he put me up to, and that was to write my own stories. At first I was a little skeptical because I had no idea where to go or what to do, so I went back to MLP and watched the second episode, part 2 of Friendship is Magic. And I suppose I may as well review the episode here, or at least recap what all it does, because this episode in particular also plays a part in how I started to get invested. And it starts off with... Alright, I have my thoughts on undermining guards in almost every cartoon, but I'll get to that on a later date. So this episode essentially does a better job at giving these characters actual personalities with one simple phrase. Character development. Throughout the episode, we get to see actual sides to these characters that are interesting and rounds out their personalities a little more. Such as Fluttershy taming a manticore, Pinkie Pie laughing at moody trees, Rarity giving up her tail for a serpent's mustache, and Rainbow Dash choosing her friends over a shortcut to her biggest dreams. I would mention Applejack, but I'm gonna be honest. Most of her character development happens later in the series. Much later. After all that, they make their way into the artifact room where Applejack tells everyone to let Twilight concentrate in order to ignite the spark. Yes, leave the most arrogant and powerful alone to figure out what needs to be done. Does nobody remember what happened to Gandalf when he did this?
You shall not pass!
Then he came back at max level in the next part. So, how does it play out here? Called it! I freaking called it! To all D&D players, never, ever leave your wizard alone in a dark place with the possibility of a powerful creature in the midst. Ahem? No, not today. I'll deal with you later. And again with the big splashing. Typical. So the ponies regroup, igniting the spark within Twilight, unlocking the elements of harmony, and wait, whoa, hold up. It wasn't an actual spark of, I don't know, magic, it was the ponies themselves? Well, at least that leaves behind a good moral message, like it's not about the outcome, but it's what's grown within kind of thing, you know? Okay, moving on. After realizing they represented the Chaos Emeralds, oops, sorry, wrong franchise. The elements of harmony, they pull the classic move of blasting the enemy into submission.
Say hello to my little friend!
Again, wrong franchise. Alright, you've made your point. Now can we please just move... Alright, I get it. It's a concept that's been overused and ran through the mud. But I mean, come on. How else are they going to take on an alicorn at this point? Does anyone else have any better suggestions? No. Didn't think so. So let's move ahead, shall we?
Princess Celestia! Twilight Sparkle, my faithful student.
And I'm the Crosser! Great, now we know each other's names.
Princess Luna. It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this. Time to put our differences behind us. We were meant to rule together, little sister. Sister? Will you accept my friendship? I'm so sorry. I missed you so much, big sister.
See, that was actually a touching moment. You know, forgiveness is something that should never be taken for granted, especially when it is gifted after everything that has been wrong. So with that in mind, Over'em, I forgive you for exploding in my face earlier. Well, that was awful convenient. Yeah, and look at that, it's daytime again. But as far as scene changes go, I think Pinky's got me beat over there.
You know what this calls for? A party!
I gotta say, the background music actually fits perfectly here. The return of a long-lost princess. The celebration of sisters united. And to top it all off, Pinkie Pie has thrown together the quickest scene change in history. You know, as I'm watching Twilight being granted permission to stay in Ponyville, I think it was this moment that inspired me to continue writing. Not just the simple fact that it gets her to stay, but the way it opens up the many possibilities that kept this show going. Right now, if you go to fanfiction.net, you'll see my stories, and I'll admit, I didn't start out as a good writer, but people who read my stories kept encouraging me to keep going, and that only made me want to improve. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank Hasbro, Lauren Foss, and everyone else on MLP for inspiring me and many others to do what we do today. Without that spark of inspiration, who knows where we would have been.